were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chickie, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few.
Oh, don't make me have to lose it.
No, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, where they had your whole face smack. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chickie, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. I've been swimming through the process and you can't see me on the likeness. You can proceed with precaution, give the proceeds to my god kids. Hold on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop kick by drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple 100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talking about don't shoot, tell that to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get them comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chickie, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no.
Hey, Pete, let it ride out.
They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chickie, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few.
Oh, don't make me have to lose it.
No, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, where they had your whole face smack. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chickie, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. I've been swimming through the process and you can't see me on the likeness. You can proceed with precaution, give the proceeds to my god kids. Hold on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop kick by drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple 100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talking about don't shoot, tell that to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get them comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chickie, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up, They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few.
Oh, don't make me have to lose it.
No, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why ain't rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my, now who are you? I don't know.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Set. Like 80.
The shotgun snap for Newton. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, partner, let's go back over the last couple of plays. Sack, loss of yards on a running play. Not exactly the sequence that an offensive coordinator gets comfortable with when calling plays.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Newton dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a pickup of 17 there, and it'll be 4th down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
On second down, Elliott. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
We go 47. We go 47, 47. 26.
Prescott on 1st down. Going up top. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Again to Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Gregory. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go, 47.
First carry for James Conner. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Start there, over there. Over there. Start there.
The give is to Elliott. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run with Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles Harris in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. Now that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now they'll run on the ball. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, it's Newton. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. A very solid gain of 27.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Hey, get right down.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Set. 780.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Set. Like 80. Come on, Greg.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Hey, get right down.
Out of the gun, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Charles Harris in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Prescott from the gun. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. And Charles got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott looking deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you can give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And over the middle, this is Parker. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Just beating the play clock is Newton. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. From the gun, here's Newton. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going to let this one go deep. And this will be caught at the 30. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, these offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Prescott now on 2nd down. Now he's flushed out right. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally, you would think he'd just take off and run downfield, but he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
The Cowboys on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Gone!
He'll drop to throw. Try to lay one up deep. That's caught at the 25. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go, 46. Here we go.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing. Prescott. Steps away to his left. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
180.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Parker. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Newton. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
Hey, get right there.
From the gun, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
It's taken to the 26. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Get up. Under.
They go to Elliott again. Fights through, and now a crease. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. A big run that time by Elliott. 45 yards on the ground. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Get out.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, hey. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46.
To throw is Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the tuck and run. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
180. White to the 3. White to the 3. Hey, hey.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play.
Here we go. Ready, set, 180. Hey, hey. Great.
Newton on first down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Hey, hey. Hey, get right there. Great. Hey, turn it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Caught. It's Cruz left side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Newton on 3rd down. Gonna throw deep for the end. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Richard Rodgers, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers have got it back to a one-score game. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Hauschka adds the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And out now come the Cowboys. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's at the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 45 yards on the ground.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Second down, Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
46.
Prescott. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And in for the score are Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble. And they did. Took it the other way for a score. And now, if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle, perhaps, to win this ball game.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
46.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Gone! Detroit!
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Done. Done. 26.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
26.
They'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Here's Prescott. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And the ball situated at the 9. Second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. They come out here in the eye. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Prescott. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Shaq Thompson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Here's Prescott. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Panthers,